everyone. My name is Elsie Lobo, and I am the chair of the Early Career Committee at AFTA. Our committee is also very glad to be planning the annual conference this year. On our Early Career Committee with me here is Dr. Wanyang Cho, Dr. Dumaji Gutierrez, and Dr. Lucas Follini. We also have Dr. Sara Saman on our committee, but she wasn't able to make it today for this video. We wanted to share this video to begin to share with you a little bit about what to expect for the conference. It's going to look a little bit different this year than past AFTA conferences. We thought very hard about how we wanted to have a conference this year, especially over a virtual platform. We wanted to make sure that the conference still provided the level of connection and intention that AFTA conferences are so well known for. And so we incorporated a few different elements to it that haven't been traditional at AFTA conferences, but that we are very excited for. So we wanted to share with you a little bit about those different elements. So for the first one, our tea time with presenters is something we haven't had before, but that we thought would be really great as we do presentations over a virtual platform. And so I will let Dr. Dumaji Gutierrez share with you.
Yes, thank you, Elsie. And this tea time really is metaphorical for just a gathering and a natural conversation for those who watch pre-recorded presentations and are more interested in getting to know the presenters, their topic, and their work. And you can parallel this in this event to when you are at a conference and say you're going around to a poster session, and then you can go up to the poster and you can learn more about that topic. You can ask questions, something that's really just natural and fluid. And so metaphorically, tea time has been that time to just gather and share. And that's what this time will start off with. And it's also a way, especially since we are virtual, just a way to connect and have a time to really get to know one another on this virtual platform. And that's what we are going to start off our conference with after we do an opening panel, both on Friday and Saturday. Would anyone else like to expand or share?
I think one of the metaphors we used for that space that we were envisioning was kind of like office hours almost, kind of visiting somebody about their work and just having a conversation, an easy conversation.
Yeah, I think it'll be really great just to it'll be more of a casual space, I think, after kind of watching the more formal presentations, to just come together and have some conversations and see what evolves out of those. So hopefully that'll be a nice space for everyone to connect, like I said. So next, I'll let Dr. Wanyang Cho share about the dialogues. We incorporated some dialogues around building bridges.
Yeah, so in not only discussing building the theme of bridging across differences, but also we wanted to create spaces where we can practice that a little bit. And so we wanted to practice that and take advantage of this new and unfamiliar platform of online virtual conference. So we wanted to create a space that for like a new kind of interaction and a new kind of academic ceremony, I guess, to the annual gathering of the AFTA community. In some ways, it's actually old and classic ways of doing scholarship, I think, of just talking to each other and brainstorming about different vantage points on certain topics. So building bridges, dialoguing across differences is basically designed as a space to bring various differing perspectives together on a topic, not necessarily to conform to a single truth or to a single perspective, but to gather together and celebrate the diversity of vantage points that will give us a more complex and nuanced understanding of a topic within family therapy. I think in some ways we are wanting to practice what we preach at AFTA, which is to come together and celebrate diversity as scholars and as educators of family therapy. And I think one of the things that's really important I wanted to get out there was that in these spaces, we're not only leaning on the presenters or the panelists to bring us some content about a specific issue, but we're also really hoping that the attendees will come and be ready to engage and be active in the conversations with the panelists about the topic that's sort of in focus. Yeah. Any other thoughts from the group about dialogues?
I think the dialogues might be an aspect of this conference that really distinguishes itself from prior conferences that AFTA has hosted. Some of the things that I'm looking forward to that tries to account for some of the feedback from prior meetings that I've attended is to really allow these conversations to reach more depth, to be less constrained by time, to be less constrained by a structure and kind of predefined dyadic lecture of sorts, and instead shift toward individuals engaging in an unscripted dialogue around a sensitive or challenging yet highly relevant topic. And in doing that, just see where the discourse evolves and the direction it leads us toward. And as we engage these dialogues, we're going to be intentional to infuse as many principles and teachings from systemic frameworks and systemic ways of thinking, and just traditional models of family therapy to contemporary models, but to really leverage as much of our systemic frameworks as we can as we address these larger social issues and bring them down to the relevancy of families and communities.
Yeah.
I would say that we really work to have a foundation of working in and within those intersections of gender, race, politics, family therapy, and really honing in on those intersections and how they are systemically layered and really integrated into our reality today. And what do those conversations even look like, not only in the therapy room, but with each other and our communities and our overall system.
Yeah. So in some ways, it's really like not only an academic practice of, coming together at an annual conference and sort of celebrating each other's work, but it's really more like coming together as individual people uniquely in our intersections to offer our unique vantage points on a topic and sort of have, fluid conversations about it, which I imagine that's historically how the classic academy was. I think I remember some folks talking about how it used to be a think tank where people kind of got together and started, talking about different topics. And we're hoping to sort of bring a new version of the same at this virtual conference.
I think one of the things that I've always loved about AFTA conferences is that they've always challenged me to think differently and hear lots of different perspectives. And so I think that this will help bring that virtually to all of us to get to participate still. So that's the dialogues. And then the last little piece about the conference that we'll talk about today are the brief presentations. And so I'll let Dr. Lucas Paulini share a bit about those.
The brief presentations will largely reflect what many of us have grown accustomed to for AFTA meetings. We rolled out a similar submission process. There was a panel of ECM members that reviewed each submission. Those that were accepted have been grouped into shared themes. And so we're going to have dedicated blocks where there's going to be 2 presentations, a designated moderator of those presentations, participant input and feedback, so Q&As, to follow each one up. And so the brief presentations is where we'll see the most familiarity.
Yeah, that'll be great. Bring a bit of our more traditional annual meeting presentations to the conference. Well, that's all we have for you today. Thank you for watching and for listening. We are very excited to see you all at the conference and continue to learn together and learn from each other while we're there.